Yo, alright, what up, YouTube? Today, I'm just first off, shout out to my grandma. Very inspirational. This is gonna be the reason I'm making this video, and I'm gonna make a series out of it. I'm still a little sick, so sorry about my voice. Today, or like about a week ago, I was calling my grandma, and she was like talking, and then she switched all of a sudden, and she started talking about like this theory, like in society. All right, in society, like for like dating, like there's the man and woman, like the men in society, usually older men go date younger woman situation, but for like, yeah, in that situation, but it's like 20-year-old woman, or like 20s, around the 20s, dating like a man early 30s, usually. You can see this a lot in society. Examples like Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know. I think he's dating another 19-year-old again. He's like, I don't know how old he is, maybe 40. Other examples through history. There's a lot. Trump, for example, the president of the United States. I don't know. I don't remember his age gap from his wife. Like, is it like a 20-year age gap? Like, these one younger women are dating these older men. And my grandma was talking about that. And she was like, oh, yes. She was like, don't worry if you're not in a relationship right now, you know. Men's value in society skyrockets. She said that with her own words. She was like, men's value skyrockets. But for women, theirs slowly starts to disappear. She said, in this term, women are like a basket of roses in society. They're picked out here and there, but slowly, over time, they start to wither down until it's a dead rose. It's withered away in society. She said, don't worry, for men, she said, for you, your value will increase in society as you get older, around 30s, she said. Don't worry, your rose is still growing, you're a bud. You grow as time goes on. But she said, oh, don't worry, the woman, the rose, it dies, it slowly disappears. I'm just looking, I'm like, that's kind of crazy that my grandma was saying that. I'm like, that's kind of crazy. But when I look at it from her perspective, because I don't remember, I don't know what generation she's from. I don't remember. I don't know, like baby boomer or something. It's like before the millennials. I was like, hold on. She's lived for a long time. She might have a point. So I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, hold on. Is this true? Yeah, it kind of is true. I mean, to be honest, yes, it is true. In my opinion, I believe it is true too. We have like a lot of examples. Going back to Leonardo DiCaprio, obviously, why do you think he breaks up with his girlfriend every time she gets a little older? You can just see this, like, it's kind of messed up thing to talk about, but it's the truth. I mean, they kind of lose value, like the looks wise aspect. Yeah, you can also see the example a lot in like, let's take an example from like South Korea, the idol industry. Why are there no idols that are popular after the age 23? There might be a couple, but like, there's other popular brand. Other idols become more popular than them over time. It's usually the younger ones. And why is it spun like that in society? Do not know. Maybe because a theory I have is that, like, well, I don't think it's a theory. It's more like an observational. Yeah, I guess you could call it a theory, but with bigger observational background. If you look throughout history, yeah, you can see this effect, like the like kings in power of the back in time, like 1500s. They were always going after the younger girls compared to the older woman. This is literally just how it was. It's like example, Genghis Khan. He would only have babies with younger women. I mean, like, it's kind of crazy. Dude rule the whole country. Let's take another example. Who's that famous? There's another famous person who done this in society. What's his name? Let's see. What is his name? It's not Ben Franklin. We'll talk about Ben Franklin in another video. This dude's different. Forgot his name. I was gonna say King Charles, but I do not think it's King Charles. But anyways, we can see this happening a lot. They just like decrease, especially in like Asian culture, for example. Yeah, I mean, Asian culture, it's really emphasized like that. Like most Asian girls, like I'm not gonna lie, from the age 20 and 25, they're looking for a husband. Like it is stigmatized in society. It's still like this. It's slowly going down now today, but it's heavily stigmatized that like you need one. Like it's heavily enforced. Like it's heavily nurtured in society from like parental pressure, societal pressure, especially like grandparents' pressure. Like we all love our grandparents. Our hope. I hope you love your grandparents, but like they have this severe societal pressure on you. Our parental pressure that forces, like especially in Asian culture, for the woman to want to get into a relationship, like almost a semi, like basically a permanent relationship for the rest of their life, really early on, before they get to find out more about themselves, know what they want. It's just structured like that in society. It's been going on for generations here in like Asian culture. I'm looking at it, I'm like, hold on, yeah. Looking at it from like a American perspective, I mean, yeah, you can kind of see that too. That's true. But I guess in our generation, it's slowly withering down, or this idea is slowly breaking down, especially on the men's side. It's not looking like on the woman's side. It actually still looks like it's almost the same, almost identical. I think it slightly went down a couple percentage. Let's say it was at like a whopping like 27%. I think it just went down by like a percentage in like a half for this generation, which is you'd be like, oh yeah, that's small, but it's actually a pretty big difference since like overall, since like this is like generation no, it's like centuries of like enforced stereotype, like, or enforced like nurturement. It's like this, yeah, it literally is like this enforced nurturement in society, that like this idea that like you get the woman young. Holy crap. Oh my god. Holy crap. Okay, yeah, you get them young. Wow. I just had, holy crap. Okay. My bad. Yeah, there's a saying in America, especially in the South. You get them young and teach them well, or something like that. Which, you get them young? Oh, you get them young so you can raise them properly. It's there. I mean, shoot. That's a phrase in South America. You get them young so you can raise them properly. They're basically translates to the younger the woman, the easier they are to train to become who you want them to be. Because older women, they've been living life. They know what they want. The younger woman does not know what they want. So you can teach them to be what you want, which sounds insane in today's societal perspectives, especially coming from like American culture. Like, yes, it sounds wild. From a Japanese perspective, it doesn't sound that wild, actually. It doesn't sound that wild. Yeah, it doesn't really sound that wild, you know. From American perspective, it really does sound that wild. It's kind of crazy. Right, I'm about to end this video, but I'll end up with one more conversation starter. Throughout society, you know, yeah, there's been this disparity of usually older men dating younger women, like having children. It's been like that for a long time in society. It's still showing no signs of stopping. Is it necessarily wrong? To be honest, in my opinion, don't believe so. But people look at it negatively now today in society. I guess I do agree, like, there's a certain age you should not pass. But there's a certain age that's okay. Like, don't take this out of context, but like, in the past, it was like, let's take an example of like Romeo and Juliet. I think Romeo at the time was Romeo. Let's look up his age. How old was Romeo? Age. How old is Romeo? If not specified, how old is his age? It's never said, but it's assumed Romeo was around like his early 20s, while Juliet just recently turned 13, which this is a really famous story in the 17th or 16th century, and it's still really famous today. It's really famous today. And we really don't bat an eye about it. We kind of do in society now. Yes, because I personally think it's weird too, but like, that's how it was in back in the time. And now today, like, it's a law. It's like that's a no-go. That should not happen. I agree. I don't think it should happen, but it's kind of in humans' DNA at this point, since we've been evolutionized or nurtured for many centuries on this idea. Another person, now I remember his name, to bring up, who knows the story Pocahontas? Yeah, like, Pocahontas was like, what, 14 when she got married to, the person who went to America. I forgot his name. Columbus, I think. Well, Columbus was like old. That dude was old. I don't know how old that dude was, but I'm telling you, when Columbus went to America, he was old. That dude was old. Like, there was definitely, he was a little over double her age, which is crazy. But at that time, it was fine. Like, you know. Now today, it's like 18, which, yes, I agree. But there's a disparity at that point. Like, when a woman's 18 and dating like a 26-year-old, looked down negative in society. Because, yes, she just turned 18. There's like something going on. But we look at it from a harsh perspective when it's the older man dating the younger woman from that perspective. But when it's the younger men dating the older woman, we bat eyes now. We're like, nah. There's nothing bad right there. What are you talking? It's the same thing. How is the man and the woman same age, 18, who are dating these people that are older than them, not very older than them? What's the difference with like the man at this point now? Like, yes, he's young. Yes, it's still kind of weird now. But we don't bat an eye for them, but we bat an eye for the woman. We're like, oh, that woman's in a bad spot. Like, why is the woman in the bad spot, but the man's not? The man is 18 too. He hasn't had these life experiences like the 26-year-old woman. Like, it's kind of, he might, depends on how people spin it. Some might say he's being taken advantage of. Some might say he's taken advantage of. Some might say, oh no, he's not being taken advantage of. He's a man, he knows what he's doing. But the woman, and most of society would say, oh, she's getting the one taken advantage of. What? They're both the same age, dating these older people. What are you talking about? One of them's getting taken advantage of and one of them not. That makes no sense. Like, what's the logic? There's no logical, like, fallacy. That's a logical fallacy there. Like, come on. That makes no sense. But I'm gonna talk about, like, that idea in another video. I hope all of this, like, made sense. Peace.